Hello, 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 and welcome to the Dreams to Keys Realty YouTube and TikTok channels. Once again, I'm live on both platforms, so welcome, welcome, welcome. I am the Essential Millennial Realtor, Jalon Strong of Dreams to Keys Realty, and I would like to welcome you all here for another live where we discuss another real estate topic. If you are new here, I am the Essential Millennial Realtor. I service Fulton, Gwinnett, and DeKalb counties of Georgia as a licensed Georgia realtor. So if you are interested in any services, feel free to go to the link in our bio, schedule a consultation, which I'll talk about in a few minutes, just to get acquainted to see if we are a good fit to do business together. But we're going to start with our welcome. So if you are new here, you're going to love it here if you're interested in anything with real estate and especially rental real estate. So go ahead, like the live, tap the screen on TikTok. Let's see some likes and hearts. Also subscribe on the YouTube channel. Make sure that you hit the notification bell. Anytime any new content is posted, you will be notified. If you click the all button on the notification bell, you can see all notifications. So welcome, welcome. Now let's go into our link in the bio highlight of the week, which we've been doing for a few weeks now. The highlight of the week this week is the junk removal free $50 gift card. It is with 1-800-GOT-JUNK. So if you need any junk removed from your home, feel free to use that free $50 gift card courtesy of Dreams to Keys Realty and myself, the Essential Millennial Realtor, to get $50 off of whatever your quote is with 1-800-GOT-JUNK. So that is free and available from the link in the bio. You can also see the website for the link in the bio moving about at the bottom of the screen on YouTube, which is beacons.ai/Jalon Strong. And that's where you can find not only that link in the bio highlight of the week, but also so many other important information, details, and even affiliate links there as well. Next, we're going to go to our free consultation, which you can also find from the link in the bio, where you can schedule a time to talk with me one-on-one about your specific scenario and your goals of home ownership. You can talk with me for up to 1 hour, and we'll discuss what it would look like if we work together in your quest of home ownership. Here at Dreams to Keys Realty, we assist with home ownership journeys such as buying, selling, or rent to owning a property, a residential property. So if that is something that you're interested in, feel free to go to the link in the bio that is once again moving about at the bottom of the screen on YouTube, where you can schedule a free consultation with me to discuss how we can work together. We do not service those that are looking to find rental apartments. We are primarily focused on home ownership. So rent to own or a lease option is the only rental assistance that we provide at Dreams to Keys Realty through myself, the Essential Millennial Realtor. But we can always recommend someone to you should you still need services that we do not provide, or if you're in an area that we do not service. So those are our beginning points. Now, as we do with any other live, we're going to show content. We're going to discuss a specific document. And just like we did in the last live, we're talking about market data. So this live is focused on Fulton County. We have previously reviewed Gwinnett County in our previous live for the term of, or the month of October 2024. And we're going to do the same type of analysis for Fulton County. As you may know, if you've been following or you are subscribed to this channel, that we have previously reviewed the Fulton County zip code of 30309, which is Midtown, Atlanta, when we looked at August data. So now we're going to look at October. We're going to compare what we're seeing month to month when we look at October 2023 versus October 2024. We're also going to look at the year-to-date data, but we're going to compare what we discussed in the previous live for August 2024 and any changes that we can note from the data we have now from the data that we reviewed back then. Hopefully that makes sense. Once again, welcome on each platform. We're on YouTube and TikTok. So tap the screen on TikTok. Let's see some hearts. And on YouTube, let's see some thumbs up. Let's make sure that we're subscribed to the channel and that we hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any information that's posted here. So if you're on TikTok and you want to see the screen that I'll be sharing on YouTube, you got to come over to YouTube to see it. So make sure that you go to the link in the bio, click the YouTube icon and come over so that you can see us live, or you can even use that same option to see the replay after the live is over. We'll be on here until about noon, or sometimes we finish a little early, or sometimes we go a little over, but noon is our time frame. I'm sorry, not noon, 2 p.m. So we like to be on here for about an hour. So that's the gist of where we'll try to get to today. So if you're on TikTok and you want to follow along, make sure that you click the YouTube icon from the link in our bio. All right, so let me share my screen so that we can get started looking at the data. All right, let me make an adjustment so that we can see the data. All right. And it should be showing up. Now I'm just going to go back so that I can see what you all are seeing. All right, let me make sure that it's up. All right, so now everyone on YouTube should be able to see our FastStats, which is courtesy of the First Multiple Listing Service, or FMLS, as I am a Georgia licensed realtor. So we're going to use the FastStats from the FMLS to look at our data for today. I'm just going to make sure the screen is big enough so that we can kind of cover the data together. All right, so it looks pretty good. If you have any concerns or questions, comments, please leave them in the comment section. I'll be checking there periodically to address anything that's there. All right, so let's start where we always do, from the top. And we're going to break down each section. So this is once again for Midtown Atlanta, the zip code of 30309, which is in Fulton County. All of this data is about October 2024. We're looking at comparing October 2024 to the data that we had for October 2023. And we're also going to look at year-to-date data for October through October 2023 and through October 2024. Aside from what you see on the screen, I'm looking at the data that we reviewed in the previous live, which I will try to add in the replay up here in the cards so that you can see that live that was discussing August 2024. And the comparisons are similar. We're looking at month to month and year to date. So we always start with the property types. We're looking at residential detached first, and then we'll look at residential attached. Residential detached is pretty much like your single family homes, properties that are not attached to any other. So let's start with the key metrics. Looking at October 2024, for new listings, we had 13, but back in October 2023, we had 19, which shows a decrease of about 32%. So the numbers there aren't that big, though that is a decrease that may not be significant to the market just yet, but we'll continue to look and analyze and see what the data says. Looking at the August data for this same metric, the new listings, we're pretty much very similar. For August 2023, it was 20. For August 2024, it was 12. So the numbers are different by one listing. So not much difference between August and October there. Now, looking at pending sales for, again, residential detached. October 2023 was 10. October 2024 was 6. That's, again, very small numbers, so it may not mean much for the market just yet. Now, looking at August, for pending sales for detached, residential detached, it was 3 for August 2023 and 5 for August 2024. So the trend there was going up when we looked at those years in the month of August. But for October, we see the trend going down. Again, the numbers are quite small, so it's hard to really make much significance from it, but we'll keep looking at this data. For closed sales, again, for residential detached, October 2023 was 8, October 2024 was 11. So here we have our first positive percentage with about a 38% increase for our most recent data. So this is closed sales. And for those that don't know the difference between the pending and closed, so once a contract is established, once you have an executed contract, meaning that both parties have agreed to the terms, acknowledged them, and everyone knows these terms essentially. So that would make it a contract or execute a contract. But that just puts it in the pending status. It does not always close just because that contract is established. Sometimes parties may pull out. Sometimes there could be issues on different ends that our other real estate agents, or not agents, but other real estate experts can help to either figure out or mitigate. So everything that goes through an executed contract does not become a closed sale, but they should all factor into before they get to the close. So that's why the numbers aren't identical. And here we're seeing that we had more closings for this zip code and for these month comparisons than we had pending sales. So that says something. That may be that some of the closings were as a result of contracts that were established the previous month, which is not atypical. Sometimes the closing may happen 30 days after the executed contract. So that could be a part of it. Again, these numbers are quite small. So the percentage of significance may look statistically significant, but it may not say a lot about anything significantly changing for the buyer or the seller. So let's keep looking. When we look at August for closed sales, August 2023, it was 7. August 2024, it was 2. Again, very small numbers, but still on the decline when we look at August, comparing the same key metrics. Now let's look at the days on market until sale. If you've been following me for some time and you've seen these lives, then you know what this days on market until sale means. But if you have not, you need to check out the replay of some of the other videos, because we're just going to summarize moving forward. So days on market until sale, here we're talking about the total or cumulative days on market until sale. For October 2023, it's 4. For October 2024, it's 45, which has a statistically significant increase of 1,025% change. So, I mean, that says a lot, and that looks very statistically significant there. So we're here talking about days on market, which means how long does a property, in this case, a residential detached property, stay on market for its total length, meaning since it was listed until it's sold, how long is the property staying on market? And for a seller, this may not be best news that you want to hear, because it means that it may take statistically significantly longer for a property that you have listed to potentially be sold if it's residential detached and in this zip code, according to what the data is showing at this time. Things may change all the time, but if we just want to be prepared and look at the data, then this is saying that it's taking way longer than it took us last year. And also, let's look at August. So August 2023, it was 56 days on market until sale, and August 2024, it was 50. So there, it wasn't much difference. Here, it says a lot about either what was happening in 2023 or what's going on now. So based on August, the 2024 data, this August 2024 days on market until sale is still less than that. So that could be a positive to take from this data. When we just compare each year, looking at the months of October, this is statistically significant. But for a present day buyer, we may want to just consider the August 2024, the September 2024, the October 2024 versus the last year or 2023's data. So what it may mean for a buyer right now or a seller right now could be totally different than what it meant for them last year. And as far as a seller, this may not mean much given what we saw when we looked at August. It may be more favorable looking. And for a buyer, the difference isn't much there either from October 2024 and August 2024. So not much looks like it has changed within this year, but it looks really statistically significant from last year. So this is something to watch, as we always will when we do the data analysis or review here on the lives. Now let's go to the median sales price again for residential detached. For October 2023, it was $905,750. For October 2024, it was $1,250,000, showing a percent increase for 38%. This is for median sales price, which is the middle point of all the sales within this month that we're reviewing for these years. So that is statistically significant. And if you are a buyer and you have a pre-approval letter, then this could say a lot to you about if you are able to buy a home in this zip code or in this market. And if you can't reach the middle point, maybe this may not be the market best suited for you to buy a home in. Now, this is the middle point, meaning that there are homes above and below. So that doesn't knock everyone out. But if this is way too much and it's a growing market based on this data, then you may want to consider another market if your price point or your pre-approval does not match. Now, looking at August 2023, it was $1,200,000. Similar to what we're seeing here, off by about 50,000 than the October 2024 data. But in August 2024, it was less than it was in August 2023. It was $1,030,000. So overall in this market, we are seeing an upward trend. We are seeing that there was some fluctuation in 2023. So in August, it was higher than it was in October of 2023. But in October 2024, it is higher than it was for August 2024. So we're seeing that this market, as far as median sales price, is increasing in price. Now, let's look at the average sales price. So for October 2023, it was $1,208,875. For October 2024, it was $1,496,273. That is an increase of about 24% comparing the October months. So let's look at August. August 2023, average sales price for residential detached in the zip code of 30309 was $1,697,143. That is higher than both October months that we've reviewed thus far on the screen. Now, when we look at the August 2024 average sales price, it matched the median sales price, which was $1,030,000. Now, let's just pause and review these numbers. So when we look at August alone, comparing 2023 to 2024, we saw a decline in the median and the sales price. When we look at October alone, October 2023 and October 2024, we see an upward trend comparing the average and the median sales prices. So something goes on between August to October in this zip code every year, because we see that prior to now, looking at the data, comparing each month within the 2 years, that there was a decline, but now it's on the rise. And that could be a number of reasons. That could be the state of the improvements that are being made in the market. That could be different initiatives or loan options that are available in the market. That could be based on the surge of those that are coming to Atlanta and want to stay specifically centered in Atlanta. And that is the goal for some people. They want to be in the city. They don't want to say, I live in Atlanta, but they really live in another city or around Atlanta. So maybe it's the convenience. There's so many things that this zip code provides access to, closer to so many different major spots or points within Atlanta. So maybe that is the attraction here. And maybe during these times when it gets colder, people make that decision. So those are the hypotheses of what could be going on. But we do notice that the average and the median sales prices are on the same type of trend, meaning they're going upward at the same time. In October and in August, they were going downward. So it's of note that in August, the median sales price and the average sales price for August 2024 were the same number. But here in October, they're different. And the average is higher than the median. So there are some differences, but just something to note. If you're looking to buy a home in Midtown Atlanta and you want it to be a residential detached property, particularly in this zip code, these are numbers that might help you decide if this is the right market for you, if you are able to afford, because we always want to make sure that we are not going into a situation causing debt for ourselves, because that's what can also be termed being house poor. And we don't want someone to be house poor, which is why lenders and their representatives do such a vast job and do such pinpointing with your finances, your debt to income ratio, savings, all those things, because they don't want you or the market to suffer for people buying a home or having a home that they cannot afford. So keep these things in mind if you're looking to buy in this market or even sell in this market, that this is what the market is saying right now. Percent of list price received. Again, if you've followed any lives that we've done discussing this before, you already know that this number should be as close to 100 as possible, meaning that the homes are listed appropriately and sold appropriately, theoretically. So for October 2023, the percent of list price received was 104%, meaning that it was above listing price. Now, the October 2024 data shows the percent of list price received was 98.4%. Now, both those numbers are close to 100. The October 2023 data shows that this market was hot then, and people really wanted to get into those properties to buy over listing price. So it's the discretion of the buyer, what they want to offer. But sometimes, depending on the type of buyer, meaning if you're someone who wants to buy the property to live in, or you're someone who's looking to buy property to fix and flip, for example, there could be different motivations that could cause this number or percentage to be higher or lower, depending on the buyers that we're seeing in the market. This fast stats does not tell us the type of buyers that are buying at these times, but it gives us what happened during those months. Now, looking at the August data, percent of list price received for August 2023 was 99%. For August 2024, it was 93.6%. So we've seen a decrease on both sides, but still close to 100% as of the most recent data using October 2024. So that's good to note. Now, inventory of homes for sale for October 2023 was 25. For October 2024, it was 29. So that is showing how many homes are in this zip code for sale in this month. So looking at each month looking at each year for October. So 25 to 29, that's a bit of an increase. Maybe not significant for the market, but it is statistically significant. You could say was 16% increase. Now for August, we saw 27 in August 2023, but 31 in August 2024. So that was an increase as well of about 15% back then. So the inventory is growing slowly but surely. And the numbers themselves are pretty similar. So August 2024 was 31. October 2024, it was 29. Now, moving to month supply of inventory. This is the measure that says, welcome, welcome, welcome. I think I see Reggie Moore. Welcome, welcome. So if you all are watching, this is a good time to tap the screen if you like what you're hearing, or give a thumbs up on YouTube as we go through this market data. Welcome, Nicole. Welcome, welcome. All right, so month supply of inventory pretty much says that when we look at this month and the inventory of the month, without adding or subtracting anything, the inventory that has not sold, how long would it take for that inventory to sell based on how the market is moving? So for October 2023, it was 3.5 months. For October 2024, it's 4 months. So that means that according to the market and the inventory on hand in this zip code for residential detached, that the market is showing that it may take 4 months for all of this inventory to sell. That is an increase of 14.3%. Now looking at August 2023, it was 3.9. August 2024, it was 4.2. So both of these months, when we look at August and October, looking at 2023 and 2024, there was an increase as far as statistical significance. But when we just compare the most recent months, August 2024 and October 2024, the October data is showing that we've come back a little bit. So we've dropped to 4 instead of 4.2 months supply of inventory. So for those that are looking to analyze what is the level of inventory out there in a market, this could be an indicator, as well as the listings and the days on market until sale. So those could be some things to look at. Of course, inventory of homes for sale at that closing of the month is another indicator as well. I just want those that are reviewing what you hear on the news to know that sometimes what the news reports is a snapshot, or it may be an indication of a bigger picture than your local market. So I really would advocate that you speak with someone in your local market to give you an indication of what's going on with where you would like to live or where you're currently living, versus hearing from more of a global sense or someone who's not even speaking about your state or your market. Now let's go to the year-to-date data. We're going to move through this a little bit faster, but here we're looking at key metrics for year-to-date through October 2023 and through October 2024. These numbers we expect to be larger because they're year-to-date numbers. So through October 2023, the new listings, it was 138, but it was 146 through October 2024. So that shows about a 6% increase. Now we're not going to compare August here. We're just going to review October. So we expect to see that over the year that we see more listings come out. So that's expected. Pending sales through October 2023 was 75. Through October 2024, 76. So we're right at where we were pretty much last year for that year-to-date pending sales data. Closed sales, it was 70 through October 2023 and 77 through October 2024. So about a 10% increase looking at closed sales for this year compared to where we were last year this time. Now, days on market until sale, year to date, it was 35 for October 2023, but for October 2024, it was 36. Not much difference, but statistically, it shows about a 3% increase year to date. Now, median sales price for year to date through October 2023, it was $1,187,500. Through October 2024, it was $1,250,000. So this number matches the median sales price that we saw for October itself, and that shows about a 5% increase compared to the 2023 data. So in this market, we're seeing that the sales price is growing. It's getting higher. Now for the average sales price for year-to-date data through October 2023, it was $1,457,107. For year-to-date through October 2024, it was $1,521,383. This number for October 2024 is higher than we looked at for the month-to-month. So the year-to-date is much higher, higher than the average sales price was. for October itself. So that could say something to us, because if we're looking at the average year to date, so we're looking at all the points throughout the entire year, at some point there was a month or multiple months potentially that were higher than we're seeing here for October, just on average. Or it could be based on, because the average is the price and the amount of properties that are sold, there could be some outlier properties that were much higher than we saw for previous months. There's some outliers that may be sold for way over, let's say $1.5 million. And then there's some that were sold much lower, and it averaged out to a higher number. Because the median is the middle and the average is what it is, it's the price, all the prices divided by all the number of properties, then we are seeing that the average for year to date is much higher than just the month of October alone. Now, as we saw with the month-to-month data, the trend is similar. The median and sales prices are both positive, and the average, of course, by how it is calculated, is a bit lower than we would see for the median, but we see an upward trend at the same time. And then when we were looking at August, we saw the downward trend. So those numbers kind of go hand in hand. The percent list price received is the last metric when we look at the year-to-date data, and it was 97.9% through October 2023, but 97.6% through October 2024. Not much difference, but it's a decrease of about 0.3% looking at year-to-date data. We would like for this number to be close to 100%. It's in the upper 90s, so that's still something good to say there. Now let's go on down to our residential attached. And once we finish with this chart, we're going to see our graphs. And I'm going to jump to our screen just to see if we have any questions. And it doesn't look like we have any, but if you have any questions about any data that we're discussing or any explanations that I'm giving, or if you would like further explanation, leave a comment in the comment section and I'll make sure to review that. Welcome, 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 Eric Oakley, Big. Welcome to our TikTok channel. If you guys want to see what we're looking at on YouTube, make sure that you go to the link in the bio, click the YouTube icon and come on over, like, subscribe, and follow so that you don't miss any content that we show in the future, but that you can see the data that we're discussing as I'm sharing the document on YouTube Live. If you want, you can also look at the replay once the live is over, which we should wrap up in the next 15 minutes or so. All right, so let's finish up this document, going to the residential attached. Same key metrics, and depending on the market, you may see larger or smaller numbers depending on the type of property. With this market, we see larger numbers for residential attached. That's not just for this month of October, but for August, we saw the same type of trend. So just to show you from the top, when we looked at listings, for example, we saw there was 19 and 13, but for residential attached, we have 72 and 74. So depending on your market, you may see different trends of what the market is saying they like the most or what's most available there. So here already we're seeing that there seems to be more residential attached properties than residential detached properties. And that may just be based on what's there or based on what the buyers have been going more toward. And that's what the builders have been creating. So let's go to our residential attached key metrics. For October 2023, the new listings, it was 72 and 74 in October 2024. Not much difference based on, the numbers themselves, but statistically it's about 3% increase. Now looking at August, numbers are pretty similar. August 2023 was 71 and 70 for August 2024. So not a whole lot of difference here, but we are seeing more listings now in October. For pending sales for October 2023, it was 34, but October 2024, it was 31. Now that shows a decrease of about 9%, but market-wise, that's a difference of 3. That doesn't say a lot of change there for pending sales. For August 2023, it's 44. For August 2024, it's 35. So we had more of a difference in August, and the numbers between August and October 2024 are not much different. We had four more properties back in, or four more sales, should I say, back in August than we did in October. So not much difference here. Again, pending sales are where we have those executed contracts that have not yet closed, and not all pending sales go to the closing phase. So that's why we have the closed sales metric, which is 36 for October 2023 and 31 for October 2024. So the numbers are quite similar to what the pending sales were, and that shows a statistically significant difference, possibly of about 14%. Now, the closed sales for August 2023 was 42. For August 2024, it was 38. That was also on the decline, but closer to about 10%. The numbers themselves, there were 7 more closings for August than there were here in October. So that could mean something about the market, but it doesn't show a significance to me. Now, days on market until sale, we see for October 2023, it was 27. Again, these are days on market. So how long it takes from the time a property is listed to when it's sold. So about 27 days in October 2023, 56 days for October 2024, with a statistically significant difference of 107.4%. That's almost double. I would say that's significant to a buyer and seller. So if you are, and more so to the seller possibly, because if you are looking to make sure you can financially keep this house up until it is sold, and maybe you have some idea of what you want to do next or where you want to live next, and this is a decision that has to be concluded, or a sale that has to be concluded before you can make your next step, knowing that you might have to potentially have your home on the market for 2 months before it sells versus 1 month could affect your financial portfolio if that's something you had to factor in that you didn't already. So that could be something a seller would really want to know. When we look at August 2023, it was 32, and it matched the same in August 2024. So what we're seeing in this market for residential attached, based on the data and the changes, is that the days on market until sale is much longer. Now, if we could just review what we saw before, it was a statistically significant difference of 1,025% when we looked at residential detached. The numbers themselves are close, being that residential detached was 45 and residential attached is 56 compared to their previous numbers. So what does this say about the market? It's saying that it could take much longer for a listing to sell in this market at this time. So that's something that a seller would want to prepare for. And it could be because of the weather changing. October is more fall. We're going into our winter. Some people may not feel like they want to move in the winter. Maybe they don't want to move in the cold. So that's something that if you're listing a property, you might want to consider, because you have to consider the thoughts of your buyer, even if they don't communicate them to you. What would you want as a buyer? What would you expect? And here we're seeing that the market is saying it's taking a bit longer for the homes to sell. Now, we haven't quite crossed 2 months for either type of property, residential detached or residential attached, in this market. And of note, the price points. So for residential detached, the price point is well over $1 million on average and median. So here we're going into residential attached, where for October, the median sales price for October 2023 was $435,000. For October 2024, it was $382,000. So the prices here are declining based on just the median sales price. Now, looking at August, so what we had before this data that you're seeing on the screen, for August 2023, the median sales price was $363,450, lower than it was in October 2023. Now, for August 2024, it was $330,000. that's lower as well than what we see for October 2024. So from August to October, both years, 2023 and 2024, the median sales price was much higher. Now, they both took a trend comparing the months to themselves. So comparing August 2023 to August 2024 was a downward trend, and October 2023 to October 2024 was a downward trend. So again, this is residential attached, meaning that properties are connected in some way, townhomes, condos possibly. And if you're not sure what a condo is, we have a video on our page as well on YouTube that I'll try to link here in the cards as well, that you can see in reference to really know what a condo is. So that's something to say about the market. When we look at this zip code, it does matter the type of property that you're looking for, because on one end, we looked at residential detached, and the median sales price and the average sales price are on the upward trend. When we look at residential attached, the median sales price and the average sales price are on the downward trend. So and then the prices are different. So the prices themselves are much higher. For the residential detached, you looking at over $1 million. For the residential attached, then you're not quite at $500,000. So it's the trend and the price point that you may want to consider. Now, for average sales price for October 2023, it was $518,425. For October 2024, it was $406,860. So that is a negative trend as well, matching the median sales price trend, but the trend is greater, where the difference is about 22% for the average sales price as we are currently. Now, for October 2023, the average sales price was $500,693, whereas for October 2024, it was $392,073. So I would say there's some statistical significance comparing the months for both of these years. And when we look at just this year, so looking at August and October of 2024, we're seeing that the median sales price for residential attached in this zip code of Midtown Atlanta, 30309, is higher now for median sales price and for average sales price. So we're seeing, even though comparing these months to each other, they're going downward, where we are currently is on an upward trend. Hopefully that makes sense. And the same can be said for where we were when we looked at residential detached. We're going up in the price, even if when we look at last year and this year, it may look like we're going down, but the price through this year is going up. And we'll look at year-to-date data to confirm that. Now, percent of list price received for October 2023, it was 98.4%, and October 2024, 98.3%. Not much different there. So not much difference there. Now for August, it was 98.5% for August 2023, and for August 2024, it was 98.3%. So still, the August and the October 2024 percentages are identical. So there's not much that we can really gather from this data. Of course, as we mentioned before, we would like to see the number at 100% or as close to it, and we're at the upper 90s. So we are pretty much in good shape when we look at this metric. Now, inventory of homes for sale, it was 147 for October 2023 and 223 for October 2024. Now, that is a statistically significant number of about 52%. So this is saying that we have more inventory available in this market currently. Now, looking at August 2023, it was 129 homes for sale. Again, this is residential attached. And then for August 2024, it was 208. Now, that was a statistically significant difference. And we're seeing, comparing this year for August and October, we have more inventory into October than we did in August. So that is a good point to review and to just know, if you're interested in this market, that there are more homes available. And it depends on the type of property that you're looking for as to how affordable it could be for you to get either type. So just keep that in mind. There's more there. and the price point is going up. So just make sure that you know what type of home, if you're a home buyer or looking to buy a home in this market of Midtown Atlanta, that with this zip code 30309, there is more available, but the price point is going up right now based on this data. Now, month supply of inventory, we discussed up at the residential detached portion, so I won't review that again, but the number for October 2023 is 3.5, and for October 2024 is 5.4. So that is statistically significant at 54.3%, meaning that it's a lot of homes on the market in this market, and it may take longer for all those homes to sell, essentially is what it's saying. So for all those homes to sell, it may take about 5.5 months. Now, when we looked at August, it was 3.1 for August 2023 and 5 for August 2024. Similar numbers, so not much to be made or said different from August to October. But if you are someone who is looking to list in this market, that may be something that's important for you to know as well, so that you can be prepared with your status or financial portfolio to be prepared to cover that home's expenses until it sells. So that's one metric that you might want to consider to discuss with your listing agent so that you are aware of where the trend is. Year-to-date data, almost done. So October 2023 year-to-date for new listings was 644. Again, this is residential attached, and we expect this number to be larger because it is year-to-date data. Now, looking at the year-to-date through October 2024, it was 842. So we have more new listings this time. And again, this is October data. So we have more new listings this time of the year than we had last year. Pending sales, 442 for October 2023. And year-to-date through October 2024, it was 435. So the pending sales, we are a little behind, but we have more listings. Now let's look at closed sales. Through October 2023, 437. Year-to-date through October 2024, 426. Again, we're behind where we were on the sales. We have the listings, but the sales are behind. So we're way ahead in the listings, and we're a bit behind, not statistically significant, but a bit behind with the pending and closed sales year-to-date in this market for residential attached. Now, days on market until sale. Through October 2023, it was 34. Through October 2024, 43. So the year-to-date says a much more favorable number than our current month's days on market until sale metric says. So year-to-date, we were looking at almost a month and a half, but looking at October 2024, it's approaching that 2-month time frame of days on market until sale. And this is total days on market until sale, not just that particular brokerage that has it at this time. Okay, so median sales price year-to-date through October 2023, it was $370,000, but year-to-date through October 2024, it was $385,000. This year-to-date number for the median sales price is higher than October's median sales price, but it's not statistically a significant difference between the two numbers. Again, this is for residential attached. Residential detached was a different ball game, different price point altogether. So if you didn't have about $1 million+ for residential detached for this market, you might want to look in residential attached if you are set on staying in a property or buying a property in this market. So price point does matter, pre-approval matters. All of that comes into a factor. And so when you pick a real estate agent, when you pick real estate experts to work with, make sure that they're showing you the data so that as things change, especially if it's been a month or so since you all started working together, whether you're the buyer or the seller, you want to see the trends. You want to see, what does this mean, so you can make informed decisions on what you want to do next, as you're in control of the buying and selling process. As far as the priority, even though we have laws and we have to abide by the laws, so you are going to make the decision of, if you're the seller, how this home is listed. If you're the buyer, what you want to offer. And so you want to know what the market is saying and what the data says to make those informed decisions and choices. Now, let's go to the average sales price. Through October 2023, year to date, it was $482,969. For year to date through October 2024, it was $484,219. Not much difference there. Again, the trend is still positive when we look at the year to date changes, but the difference between 2023 and 2024 is less than $2,000 of difference. So that's not, I wouldn't say that's statistically significant. Now, when we look at the October 2024 average sales price number and the year-to-date number, the year-to-date number is almost $80,000 more than where we are here in October 2024. So that could be something said about, those outliers, those homes that are maybe way above and way underneath where the average homes are being bought in this market for residential attached. So the more homes that are being purchased, the more that number of the sales price is being added to, and the division is changing. So just to review the difference between the median and the average, the median is the middle point. The average is taking all of those sales prices and dividing them by the number of properties that were sold. Now, the last year-to-date data here is for percent of list price received. Through October 2023, it was 98.9%. Through October 2024, it was 98.1%. So the percent of list price received has decreased. However, it's still in the upper 90s. We would love to see 100%, but this is still a good value. If you're watching us on TikTok, make sure that you tap the screen. Let's see some hearts. If you're watching on YouTube, let's see some likes. Let's follow on both platforms. Subscribe if you're on YouTube and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any content that we post here at any time. We're going to wrap up with these two graphs. So we're going to start with the one on the bottom left, which is the median sales price for residential detached. So this is looking at the first column of data, but again, it's looking at the but it is looking at a rolling 12-month calculation, and we're looking all the way back from 2014. So we're going to see how this data for not just this zip code, but for all MLS is showing up when we graph it out. So this is, again, courtesy of the First Multiple Listing Service, or FMLS, through FastStats. Now let's look at the January 2014 point and look at both lines. The green line is the zip code that we've been referring to for this live, which is 30309, which is Midtown Atlanta, Fulton County. Now it starts at the about $600,000 mark, whereas the all MLS data is under $200,000. Again, this is residential detached. So this is the data or the chart that we saw first, where the median sales price was well over $1 million. So in 2014, it was over $500,000 already. Now, what you can already observe from this graph is that these lines never have touched between January 2014 to present, or to the October 2024 data that we've been reviewing for this live. They never touch. And what you can tell is that there's a great divide. It's not that they even look like they should ever touch. So the all MLS line, it does a slight incline across this whole graph or this time frame. It crosses over the $200,000 mark about 2016. And by the time of the pandemic, it does a slight dip right before we go. Not a dip, but a slight incline right before we go to 2021. It stays on that incline. It kind of plateaus when we get to 2023, and it's hovering just about at the $400,000 mark based on October 2024 being the cutoff. Now, looking at the zip code, it's done a bunch of jumps, and it almost looks like a mountain or some type of terrain based on how this graph is going. So you'll see that at as early as 2015, it crossed the $800,000 mark. By, let's say, 2018, it took a dip where it went back under that, and it came back up just about 2019 when the pandemic hit. It kind of took a bit of a dive again, where it jumped back down to that $800,000 mark. But then when we go to 2022, we see a spike right after that year, the beginning of that year, where we go straight up into the $1 million mark. And it's almost at the $1.2 million mark before it hits 2023. And at 2024, it has hit the $1.2 million mark, and it looks to be on the incline as the graph ends. So that's a lot to be said about this zip code and this type of property. For residential detached, based on where this graph and the table that we reviewed before, you would need at least $1.2 million to purchase a residential detached property in this market based on the data. Now let's look at the median sales price residential attached, again on a rolling 12-month calculation, where we're looking at 2014 all the way to October 2024. Now, same colors. The green line is 30309, which is the zip code for Fulton County or Midtown Atlanta in Fulton County that we've been reviewing this entire live. And the gray line is the all MLS data. The gray line is at the bottom. At no point do these lines touch. It appears that they might touch when they get to just before January of 2022, but they have yet to touch based on this graph. The all MLS data starts under the $150,000 mark, whereas in 2014, in 2014, the zip code 30309 starts above the $200,000 mark, and it hits, I would say, in 2020 when the pandemic, we see a slight change between both lines, but there is more of a curve going for the zip code 30309, where it is above the $300,000 mark. It looks to be inclining, but takes a dip again when we are just past the 2021 year, and it's going back toward the $300,000 mark. It takes a sharp incline, I'd say, just before or at the January 2022 timeframe, and stays there until we are approaching the 2023 line, where it starts to come back down a bit. And after that, it does a bit of variation, but never touches the all MLS line. And the all MLS line seems to be on more of a steady pace and going up, but toward the end of this graph, it looks to be plateauing just under the $350,000 mark, whereas the zip code 30309 is above that line and somewhere in between $350,000 and $400,000. So very different numbers, very different price points, very different movements depending on the type of property and the closeness of where the MLS or all MLS and the zip code of 30309 is showing is more so for the residential attached as opposed to residential detached. For this market, residential detached is way above all MLS data, but for residential attached, it is closer in comparison to all MLS data. So that's something to note. I hope this information was helpful for you, especially if you're looking to live in Fulton County or looking at this zip code in particular. Welcome, 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 Maria. Welcome. Let's see some hearts. Tap the screen if you're liking the information that we're sharing. And I'm going to stop sharing the screen on YouTube. I'm going to open the floor for Q&A. So if you have any questions about the data that we talked about, anything that was mentioned, even if it was the link in the bio, highlight of the week, the consultation process, or just how to get in contact or get started with us at Dreams to Keys Realty or myself as the Essential Millennial Realtor, I'd be happy to answer any of your questions now or in the future. Feel free to leave comments in the comment section and I'll make sure to review them, even if you leave them on the replay. Now, as you all are thinking of your questions, let's just discuss again our business operations during the holidays. During the holidays, we will not be in the office as much because we will also be enjoying the holidays as we hope you are. Now, for our operations, we are still opening up our calendar to our consultations. So if you are interested in services from myself or Dreams to Keys Realty at any point, make sure that you go to the link in the bio and schedule a free consultation. The consultations are free. However, if you do schedule a consultation and you do not show up, there is a $15 no-show fee, which is why when you make the appointment that the link will ask you for information to cover that fee should you not show up. We want to make sure that as a company that we are helping those who are serious about their home ownership journey, and we don't want to take the opportunity away from those who are serious for those who may not be as ready. So make sure that when you schedule the free consultation that you're ready to get started and that the time that you choose is the time that you'll be available to show up. If you, for any reason, have a change in plans, make sure that you reschedule or reach out to us so that we can make sure that change is made. But should the time occur for the consultation period, then the $15 no-show fee will be assessed. Well, if you guys have no questions, we're 10 minutes over our time, but I will see you all in the next live. Make sure that you like and follow. You never know when we'll go live, though we have some upcoming live scheduled and we have some more market data to discuss in our next live. In the next live, we'll be talking about DeKalb County. So if you're interested in living in DeKalb County or you know someone who is, make sure that you like, follow, and subscribe so that you don't miss when we go live. You also want to hit that notification bell, particularly on any live that you like, or you can click all when you click the notification bell so that you can see every time we post something or go live. We want to make sure that we're reaching those who are interested in our services or those who know someone who would benefit from our services. And there is someone in a circle that you're in that is discussing home ownership. They're discussing the real estate market. And this is the platform that they need to know about. So make sure that you share our videos, share our links so that those of you that are interested in real estate and those that you know that are interested in real estate can be acquainted with us on our social media platforms, follow us and learn with us. We're going to discuss more market data. We're going to discuss different topics. And you may see that we have a plethora of topics and videos already on our YouTube page. So if you haven't seen that, go to the link in the bio, click the YouTube icon, and get there to see whatever you're looking for as far as different real estate topics. We've covered a lot and we're still going to cover more and more. So with that being said, we're going to end the live today. Again, thank you all for joining. Thank you for coming. Thank you for logging in and being a participant of the live. And we hope that something that we shared today is beneficial to you or someone you know. This is Dreams to Keys Realty, where dreams turn into keys. I'm the Essential Millennial Realtor, Jalon Strong of Dreams to Keys Realty, and I will see you in the next live. Bye-bye.